Hey everyone, Emmanuel here. Just at the Fight Club, finished training, and I'd figure I would record a podcast for everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's just been crazy times, busy for me in different ways. And even though we're not training, for me, I continue learning and growing and training regardless of classes. And I hope you guys are doing the same. But in today's podcast, I wanted to talk about something I'm going to title Rare Air. And if you missed that, rare air. And we work a lot on breathing. At Fight Club, we do work a lot on, in Systema in general, there's just a lot of focus on breath work. And I think a lot of people stop at a point where they say, okay, I'm breathing and I'm good, or I've got the general principles and I understand the methodology. It's very much like sports, I understand the play, I understand the rules, and okay, I'm good. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not enough. There's much more to sports, and there's much more to a game. There's so much behind all of it that to just understand principles, rules, and some methodology, you're really stopping at the beginning level. So like I said, I've been working a lot on breathing, and now with, given our situation, a lot of mental stress, fears, worries, anxieties, been doing a lot of that work, kind of, keeping those things at bay, and taking my training more internal. And you realize, if I can give you some analogies, there comes a point where, if you're, let's say, a chef, you taste so many foods and you cook so many foods that there comes a point where there's really no ingredient or food you haven't seen or heard, or you see the mixture of the combination of different cuisines. But what you develop you start to develop an instinct that a meal is special, and you can almost feel the love or the effort that went into the meal, and we all know that when we say that's a good home cooked meal. In much the same regard, when you practice your breathing, much like foods, it's all you come accustomed to the inhale, the exhale, the hold, the triangle breathing, square breathing, and you practice all these things, and you see it in different ways. But then there comes a time when you realize that your breathing is just perfect. And it's perfect because it's in sync with what you're doing. And when my breathing is on, I find that I feel stronger. So I don't feel weaker. I actually feel my body getting stronger, even though the effort is getting more. So, there's that sweet spot where you get your second wind or your third wind. So, in all rights, you should be exhausted, but all of a sudden your body just feels great. That's when kind of breathing, maybe nutrition and efficiency kind of combine, where you get a second and third wind in a game or in training. In much the same way, and then past that, is so you understand something is efficient and good, but then comes a point where you realize how special something is, and that's the kind of deeper level, that you're breathing in such a way that you realize it's rare air that you're breathing. And it's, what I mean by rare air is that it's special. And any incredible place I've ever been, like some place where great decisions were made, or special moments in life, you realize that the air there feels special, and it's rare. It's not common air, right? Now, it's not just fresh air. It's not just like, okay, well, I got fresh air, being in the city of Toronto. It's not just fresh air. There's, some moments that you realize that it's really rare, like it's not common. And if it's the one gift I've always had in my life as a person, is that I understand how special things are. And there's many in my life, and I'm not going to go through all of them. And Systema was one of those. I walked into Russian martial arts, and I had zero expectation. I didn't know what to expect. I'd never even heard of it. And as I was driving home after my first class, I said, "There's two things," because it was very hands-on, guys. It was like nothing I've ever seen. We're talking back in the early '90s. There was no point of reference. There was no magazine, no YouTube footage, no anything to say, "What is this?" It was just some guy named Vladimir came to Toronto and started teaching Russian martial arts, and that was it. And I remember driving home and saying, "There's two things. Either this is crazy," because it was so hands-on. Like there was no pads, no gloves, no nothing, and it was really hands-on, which is fine because I was a rugby player. Hands-on was like to me. I loved it, but it still was intense, and it still was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I said, this is crazy, or it's incredibly special. And I remember driving and saying to myself, I think it's special. And ever since then, I've stayed, and I always feel that. You have to understand that a special is a feeling. There was something about it that was incredible for me. I've always had that gift to understand when things were quite special. And when you're in a special place or in a special moment, the air seems rare. And I've recently experienced that again, and it's really earth-shattering. It's not, some of you might think, well, maybe you're at a famous place and it's your mind telling you it's special. No, I've had this happen in places that you would never know, and that would never know were special. And also you can feel it. Guys, when I say rare air, I'm serious. You breathe in and you feel that breath of fresh air and the air, and you're like, okay, it's special. It's special, And I remember moments in high school, in moments in real fights, moments in incredible games, moments in scary situations that were very rare. And you never felt more alive. And it's adrenaline, but the air, it was different. You could feel it. It was different, If you ever get around a very powerful person, there is definitely an energy. And if you get around a very powerful place, there's also an energy, and the air seems different, and it seems very rare. This is a special attribute. So when you're practicing your breathing and going through the different techniques and different methodologies and different principles, which I do, of course, understand that that's basically just a calibration tool. It's just a starting point. It's something that, yes, we all need to do, but your breathing really goes to a special place when you take a breath and you understand that this particular breath was very special. Much like when you sit down for a home-cooked meal and you realize how much care went into that food and into that meal and into not just its preparation, but in the way it was cooked. You're in a good place. A lot of people just put food in their mouth and say, that's good. Other person goes, you were in the kitchen a long time, and when you made this, you were very happy, and you really want us to be here, and you really wanted to communicate something special, and that is the place you want to be. You don't just want to be you really want to detect something special. So I will leave you with that, to find your rare air. And it's not something you find all the time. It's not just a breath. It's where you realize the place, the person is special. I hope that helps, guys. Keep breathing, stay grounded, keep training, and I will see you hopefully online on Mondays and Wednesdays. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.